Losers Room, we're doing it for charity.
Drag the guys down so they can go chat. Yes, here you go. Enjoy.
So good job on that, and I hear some Discord dings, so I will leave it to interviews.
Yeah, GG to our boys, Casual Tom and Charlie Boy. We got these two in right now. How y'all feeling, fellas?
GG's Charlie Boy. How'd you feel about the stages you got early on? Like, what'd you landed on with the random stage names?
So, first off, GG's Tom, Chungus. Big shout outs to Creed for commentating. As far as the stage names go, they were hidden. But what I landed on first, I think I did Flash first, and then I ended up hitting Heat, and then Crash right after. It kind of sucked to do it with no items, but a lot of fun nonetheless. I got the Crash pause buffer zip, so that went favorably, I guess. Heatman wasn't terrible without any items, so
I went the same route you did, except right before Flash, I picked Air, and I game overed right on the first screen. So
actually, both you and Chungus actually both found Air very, very early. Those were the first stages both of y'all went to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I had items for Air, but I did have Flash or Time Stopper for Air, so that worked out in my favor.
I had item 1 for that.
Yeah, nice. I wasn't too happy with the item 1. It was slow. Couldn't really do any zips with it or anything, but I guess at least I got to show off the Crash pause buffer zip. I did put in some. For those of you who's watching and don't know, I do sprite work for this game. I put in some Final Fantasy references. I don't know if y'all caught the title screen, and there was actually a background in Woodman stage. I only had a month kind of that I knew that we were gonna be doing this, so I got to work and I put in the Black Belt as a new character, the Black Mage and the White Mage. So all of those are from Final Fantasy 1, and I will send those into the MM2R, Mega Man 2 Randomizer Discord, in the sprite dev section for anybody to use, and hopefully they'll make them into our randomizer, as well as some of these backgrounds and castle works and all that stuff that I've done here recently.
I mean, we do have a little bit of history with Final Fantasy Randomizer. I mean, Charlie Boy, you definitely would be able to mention this, because I believe there was a time where there was a small collaboration with the Final Fantasy Randomizer community and the Mega Man 2 Randomizer community at one point.
I believe, was it Gouda? Oh man, I think his name was Gouda, that invited me to commentate one of the grand finals of Final Fantasy Randomizer, and they wanted to do something special for their grand finals. So it was like every time they got a key item, which I believe there was 8 key items in that randomizer, every time they got a key item, they like warped to Mega Man, even though it wasn't like an official ROM switch or anything like that. There was some emulator magic happening for that to happen like that, but still the spirit of the game was there as like a collaboration, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. When Dark Moon invited us, to come and run for the marathon here, I did my best to get a group of people together, and big shout outs to everybody who watched and everybody who came to play and all that.
And right now we do have Chungus finishing his run. Don't quite have an official time since he forfeited from the actual race time in-game race, but shout outs to Chungus for completing the C regardless. The early game kind of tripped him up a little bit, but Chungus was able to tough it out and was able to finish it. Big ups to Chungus. Hopefully we're able to get him in here for just a brief discussion before we move on to the next scheduled run. So if I can just hopefully tell him where he is, where we can get to, and be chat for a quick little bit.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I do want to mention the background as far as wood stage goes. I know it was kind of hard to tell with this particular color palette, but when I was testing it, it looked really good. It was actually some of the houses from the overworld of Final Fantasy 1 as well. was sprinkled in there with the trees of the fight background, I believe it is. So there was that, and then yeah, there was other things like on the waterfall replacement for Bubble Stage was actually the overworld ocean, uh, but done best to not cause flash intrusions. And then I actually tried to put Chaos, I believe, is the final boss of that game. I tried to put him in, but I just didn't.
Who is a Wily? Like alien? I mean?
Yeah. For Final Fantasy One, the final boss is named Chaos, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Kill
so
Chaos.
I was gonna put him in as far as like a Wily swap or an alien swap, but I just couldn't do it. And I was gonna do it on Wily 5, which is how we ended up with a Dark Room Wily 5. By the way,
That was awesome. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. I really appreciated that new change. That's fun.
I created that instead. For the Wily 5 blinking sign, it was going to be Chaos there instead, but I just didn't have enough time to figure it out and make it work right. So yeah, unfortunately, I had to cut Chaos from there. But yeah, Dark Room and all that. What's up, Chungus?
Yeah, that seed had plenty of chaos as it was.
GG's Chungus.
GG,
All
so
right.
on.
All right, Chuck, let's get the elephant out of the room and out of the way. Airman. Discuss.
Well, I joked about it getting crashed first, and I wish I had.
Yeah, it was way easier by comparison. And I took the same route you took. I got air first as well.
I could not figure out the
I game over
the
it.
big head platforms.
Yeah, I kept falling off.
Yeah, blame Charlie Boy again for adding yet another Cutman Bad Scissors Day sprite into the Dead Peasant randomizer. But yeah, just quickly tell us how did the sea feel for you, Chungus, aside from air?
All 3 items in the last 3 stages, and
Yeah.
and also in the easy stages. So yeah, it was a general Chungus get luck kind of seed. Really good fun though.
Totally.
All right, so should be going on ahead so we can move on to the next schedule runs for the event, which are a couple of ROM hack exhibitions, which I'm very looking forward to, especially this Mario RPG Armageddon that's going to be after the upcoming run that's before it. But yeah, any last words before we officially sign out, gentlemen?
I had fun. I'm glad we got to do this. So thanks to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, and thanks Creed for commentating, and everyone else that may be forgetting. Thanks to Charlie for all the updates and everything, and Chungus for joining as well.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me. Thanks to the Final Fantasy Rando community for putting on this marathon for a good cause.
Yeah, I just want to echo what Tom and Chungus said. Big shout outs to Dark Moon, and then all the people behind the scenes. Caront here. Hayati.
Haste.
I'm so sorry if I butchered those.
It was dimmed until he spoke, so I couldn't. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Big shout outs to Creed for commentating for us. Yeah, shout outs to Dark Moon for inviting us. Invite us to your marathons. I'll put in special stuff into the game for it. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, and for these guys and the rest of the Mega Man 2 randomizer community, this is your boy LV Creed. Stay tuned for more exciting runs, marathon runs, randomizer runs, as we continue to raise money for a very, very good cause. And I'll hand it back to our gracious hosts.